A reading from the book of 1 Samuel. Today is September 8th. Our reading from 1 Samuel is chapter 19. Saul urged his son Jonathan and all his courtiers to kill David. But Saul's son Jonathan was very fond of David, and Jonathan told David, "My father Saul is bent on killing you. Be on your guard tomorrow morning. Get to a secret place and remain in hiding. I will go out and stand next to my father in the field where you will be, and I will speak to my father about you. If I learn anything, I will tell you." So Jonathan spoke well of David to his father Saul. He said to him, "Let not your majesty wrong his servant David, for he has not wronged you. Indeed, all his actions have been very much to your advantage. He took his life in his hands and killed the Philistine, and the Lord wrought a great victory for all Israel. You saw it and rejoiced. Why then should you incur the guilt of shedding the blood of an innocent man, killing David without cause?" Saul heeded Jonathan's plea, and Saul swore, "As the Lord lives, he shall not be put to death." Jonathan called David, and Jonathan told him all this. Then Jonathan brought David to Saul, and he served him as before. Fighting broke out again. David went out and fought the Philistines. He inflicted a great defeat upon them, and they fled before him. Then an evil spirit of the Lord came upon Saul while he was sitting in his house with his spear in his hand, and David was playing the lyre. Saul tried to pin David to the wall with the spear, but he eluded Saul so that he drove the spear into the wall. David fled and got away. That night Saul sent messengers to David's home to keep watch on him and to keep him in the morning. But David's wife Michal told him, "Unless you run for your life tonight, you will be killed tomorrow." Michal let David down from the window, and he escaped and fled. Michal then took the house idol, laid it on the bed, and covered it with a cloth, and at its head she put a net of goat's hair. Saul sent messengers to seize David, but she said, "He is sick." Saul, however, sent back the messengers to see David for themselves. "Bring him up to me in the bed." He ordered that he may be put to death. When the messengers came, they found the household idol in bed, with a net of goat's hair at its head. Saul said to Michal, "Why did you play that trick on me and let my enemy get away safely?" "Because," Michal answered Saul, "he said to me, 'Help me get away, or I'll kill you.'" David made good his escape, and he came to Samuel at Ramah and told him all that Saul had done to him. He and Samuel went and stayed at Naioth. Saul was told that David was at Naioth in Ramah, and Saul sent messengers to seize David. They saw a band of prophets speaking in ecstasy, with Samuel standing by as their leader. And the Spirit of God came upon Saul's messengers, and they too began to speak in ecstasy. When Saul was told about this, he sent other messengers, but they too spoke in ecstasy. Saul sent a third group of messengers, and they also spoke in ecstasy. So he himself went to Ramah. When he came to the great cistern at Seku, he asked, "Where are Samuel and David?" and was told that they were at Naioth and Ramah. He was on his way there to Naioth and Ramah when the Spirit of God came upon him too. He walked on, speaking in ecstasy, until he reached Naioth in Ramah. Then he too stripped off his clothes, and he too spoke in ecstasy before Samuel. And he lay naked all that day and all night. That is why the people say, "Is Saul too among the prophets?"